Hi guys, Mr. Travis here. Time for another week of Wondertime. And this week we are going to do a couple of fun things. We're going to take a walk. We're going to take what's called a book walk. We're going to talk and walk with books, and so we'll learn that today. And then we're also going to do another fun music interlude, all about walking, about getting outside, that kind of thing, which is kind of why I'm out here, you know, talking about being outside. Sometimes it's nice to be outside. And so, and if you've joined me before, you probably know that a lot of times I'm helped by a friend. His name is Chester. Oh, I don't have my watch on, but if I had my watch on, when I look down here, I would see that Chester's late, because I was expecting him by now. I called him. He said he was coming, because I do need his help today. And so, boy, you know, I'm kind of stuck without my friend Chester here. Let's see. Let me go. I'll be right back. Let me go see if I can find him. Still don't see him anywhere. Not sure where he went. What? I don't know. I thought I heard something. Not sure where I went. You know. Oh, you know what? He could still be asleep. He could still be asleep. He's often still asleep. Why don't I go check? I'll go check and see if he's still asleep. I'll be right back. Right back. We'll play a game. We're going to play the freeze game. So when I say freeze, we freeze. We stop. So like if I was just talking and doing something like this and I said freeze. Okay, now we can talk again. Now we'll try it again. So if I'm just, you know, sitting here and talking to you guys and I say freeze. Okay, unfreeze. Okay. So now we're going to try it again while I go get Chester. Well, I'm going to go see if he's in his room. So ready? We're going to go freeze. 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 Wait. I'll be right back. Well, I don't see him still. I still don't see him anywhere. It's a weird thing. Well, I would say it's unlike Chester to be late. But it's not unlike Chester to be late, because he's late all the time. Still swore I heard something. So anyway, so I guess we'll just have to get going with that. What you say? You say you saw Chester. You saw Chester. No, I don't see Chester. Unless he could have gone out the other way. Let me go see. I still don't see him anywhere, guys. I still don't see him. I don't see Chester anywhere. Let's see. Well, what? You saw him where? Up? No. So Chester, we'll see. Let's see. Up, huh? Let's see if you. So you guys should look up, not down. Up. Okay. Up. Look what's up there. Chester, get down. Get down, Chester. Come here. Oh! Look, it's Chester. Chester was up in the tree the whole time. Chester loves the trees, don't you, Chester? He does. He loves the trees. And so, yeah, I should have thought about that the first time. That's like his favorite place to play is, no, Chester. No, don't put the feet in your mouth. Oh, Chester, no. No, put the feet. Okay. Well, Chester, did you bring us something to help us with stories today? Yes, he did. So, hi. Hi, this is Buddy. Hi. Hi, Buddy. We'll see Buddy again later. How are you doing, Buddy? Chester, you brought us something to help us with stories. So, if you brought us something, where would you put it? Oh, let's take a look. Oh, is it in his pocket? No, not in his pocket. Could it be, Oh, he does have another pocket. Oh, look, let's take a look. Oh. Must be in there pretty good. Oh, good one, Chester. Good one. Let's see what he's got. Oh, no, don't, no. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what he's got. Oh, he's got a piece of paper, that's for sure. Let's take a look. Oh, it's a piece of paper. And it has a letter on it. It does have a letter. Maybe it's a letter we should talk about. Before we even look at it, let's talk about this letter. This letter, it's called the W. Can you say W? W. And it makes this sound. Do you guys know what it sounds like? What does the W sound like? Yeah. It goes like this. It goes wah, 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 wah. And to make a W, this is what you do. You take your finger, and we'll put it up here. We'll go down, then up, and then down, and then up. Let's try it again. It's sort of like you go down, and up, and down, and up. Chester, let's see if you can do it. Down, good, and up, yep, down, and up. Yeah, the W. Good one, Chester. So look, Chester brought us a thing that has a W, a big red W in the middle, big red W. And he has some things on here that start with a W. He has a, let's see, this is something that crawls on the ground. It's a worm, the worm, And this is something you eat. It's green and pink inside, and it's got big seeds. It's called a watermelon. Oh yes, I like watermelon too. And we've got, let's see what else. Oh, we've got a big animal with big long tusks that almost looks like a big seal, but it's got big tusks, almost like an elephant. It's called a walrus. What else do we have? We have, oh, it's something you drink. Something we need to drink every day. It's water. Water. And we've got a watch, and the world, and a window. Let's see, what else do we have? And a wall. We've got all sorts of things. And we've got wood and a wallet. Oh, all sorts of things that start with a W. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about things that starts with a W. We're going to talk about another thing, going for a walk. Going for a walk, So the first thing we're going to do about going for a walk is we're going to do a book walk. And we'll show you what that is next, Yes. Okay. Stand by. Book walk. Yes. Hi. Hi. How are you? Good boy. Okay. All right. We're back. So we're going to talk about doing what's called a picture walk. We're going to do a picture walk through books, And this is something grown-ups can do at home with anyone learning to read. When we're talking about some of our early literacy skills, we're talking about reading, and we're talking about talking and playing and writing. There's all sorts of things, and music, singing. So those are sort of the 5 activities we can do for early literacy. So we're going to talk to a couple of things just by talking about books. And when we talk about books, even if we're not reading them, we can explore them with kids, and they can kind of start thinking about what the books mean. So we're going to take a walk through our picture book, and it allows us to find out what your child knows just based on pictures, and it kind of gets them to think about what the book may be about before we even going into it, and encourage them to use their language skills to talk about a book. You can even, encourage kids to read a book without knowing the words. Start being able to turn the page with them, look at the pictures, tell you what it's about. It's all about using their vocabulary, where the goal is by the time kids get to kindergarten, we want them to have 10,000 words in their vocabulary. So to do that, they need to hear words, but to reinforce that, they need to use those words. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a walk through the picture books. So we're going to get some picture books here. And I've got a few of my favorites. And so here's one. This is one of my favorite. It's by Aaron Reynolds and Dan Samtat, and it's called Dude. So if you were to look at that cover, just the cover of that book, what do you think that might be about? What do you see? So we'll say that it's always a good thing to say what the title. Let them know what the title is. Say who is the author. Let people know that let kids know that authors and illustrators make these books, and maybe they have favorites that they want to ask for, so they'll be able to start learning their styles and learning the characters and that kind of stuff. And so you might ask, well, what, just by looking at this book, what do you think it might be about? What do you think it might be about, Chester? He says, he sees water. You see water and a shark. Yes, a shark. Does that shark look scary? No, not really scary. He's kind of smiling. Because sharks can sometimes be scary, but I don't know that this one is. And look at these guys. What are they doing? They're on surfboards, in the water. They're floating in the water. And then to go through a book walk, what we'll do, we'll start looking at the pages one at a time. We'll talk about what's there. What do you see? Where do you think they are? They on the beach? Yeah. Oh, and what do you think? See this big sign here? The big red and yellow sign? What do you think that could mean? And when you're doing a book walk, I'm sorry, Chester, what you want to do, you don't want to just go through the pages too fast. Let them look. Let them start thinking about what it is. Give them time to develop a thought and to talk to you about it. So what do they see? Describe what they see. What do you think they're doing? These guys, they've got a surfboards over there and they're running. What do you think they're running to? What do you think they're running to? What do you think's happening on this page? Where do you think they're going? What do you think could be on the next page? Where do you think they're running? You think, well, they do have surfboards. So where do the surfboards? Surfboards, yeah, you're right. Surfboards go in the water. You think they might be going to the water next? Oh, okay. So let's take a look. You're right. They're in the water. And so that's how we start going through. Let's take a cut. I'm going to do this real quick. So let's do a new page. So let's take a look at another book. This is another one. Oh, look. See this book? Yeah, look. Yeah. Let's say what it's called. It's called Little Whale, and it's by Joe Weaver. And what do you think the things that could be the same about this book, What? Oh, yes, Chester thinks, well, this is about the water too. We saw a shark that lived in the water, and we saw some surfers on the water, and whales live in the water too. They live in the ocean too, Yeah. So remember, when you're doing our book walks, we look at the pictures, we take our time, and we trade off talking. Let's make sure they talk and you're talking, And what we can do is even if we're not reading the book specifically, we can talk about new words, We can say, oh, look at that, look at the length of that whale. Length means how long he is, And he's called a gray whale. And have you heard of any other kinds of whales? Yes, you have. Oh. Yes, Chester knows of another kind of whale that he's heard of. It's a big word. It's called the humpback whale. He's heard of a humpback whale. Huh? It's a different kind of whale. It's a new word, humpback whale. Can you say that? That's a big one, huh? Yeah. And so, other little things you can do is like remember when you're talking and kids are learning to talk, it's okay to correct them. You know, say if they say something out of order or their sentence structure or the grammar isn't quite right, it's okay to say, oh, you know how you would say that? Say it this way, you know, and you just do that very gently. You're teaching them as we're talking, huh? I love this book, by the way. Oh, wow, look at all of these animals. Yeah, they're all what's called silhouettes. That's a big word, huh? You can only see the outline of all of these animals. You see, it's like their shadows. It's a big word called silhouettes. Huh? It's like their shadows. Huh? So you introduce words and what they mean. And, you know, and then you can add to what your child knows. So they say, oh, look at all the fish. And he says, yeah, there are a lot of fish. But what kind of fish do we think? We think, oh, I think that this one is what's called a ray. Yeah, ray. And this one with that head, what do you think the head of this shark looks like? That fish. They call that a hammerhead. A hammerhead shark. Huh. What do you think that is? Is that a fish? What could that look like? Yeah. I think it looks like a turtle. It looks like a turtle, yeah. And, you know, the other things you can do is make sure, you know, this is certainly something that you don't have to speak. You know, if English isn't your first language, if you're more comfortable speaking in a different language, just use whatever language you're comfortable in. It's not about learning any particular language. It's about learning skills for reading, learning language. It doesn't matter the language. And another thing you can do is sort of like tie what they see to events. Like, oh, look at that. You know, when we look at the ocean and we look at the whales and look at all the fish and look at the rain, you can say, oh, remember, it rained here just the other day. What happened during the rain? Do you remember the rain? Maybe they remembered that there was lightning out, huh? The lightning. Yeah. Or maybe you could remember, or you could talk about, well, you know, last year we visited the ocean. We saw the beach. And maybe we're planning on going for a trip in the lake. We're going to go up to a lake pretty soon. What's the difference between the ocean and the lake? You know, the water in the lake doesn't have salts. It doesn't have big waves. Are you going to find, what do you think? Would you find whales in a lake? No, but there's certainly fish. Huh. So those are the things that you could talk about. You can talk about what they feel like. What does it feel? Who do you think the big one and the little one is? Yeah. Is that maybe a mama and a baby whale? Yeah. Well, how does that make you feel when they're swimming together like that? That's nice, isn't it? Yeah. Or, you know, when we were talking about the rain earlier, you could ask, you know, like, what did you feel like when you saw the rain? Huh? Or what did you see? Remember when we saw the lightning? What did you feel like? Oh, yes, you were a little scared. You was a little scared of the lightning, yeah, and that's okay. We can talk about that. But that's kind of how we would take a walk through a book. We're just looking through the book. We're talking about each page. We're taking the time. We're really encouraging talking. We're really encouraging using vocabulary, learning new vocabulary, making some corrections on, you know, sentence structure, that sort of thing. Again, doesn't matter what language we use. And, you know, using that to tie it to bigger things. You know, what memories do these trigger? Or, you know, if you went to the ocean, we saw a couple books about the ocean. If you went to the ocean, what would you like to do at the ocean? You know, it says, we saw one book that had some people surfing. Yeah. Have you ever surfed? Mm-mm. Would you like to surf? Yes, me too. Me too. I surfed a couple of times. It's great. It's great. I would love to go again. So those are the kinds of things you can do at home. Those are called walking through a book. Yep. Okay. Now we're going to do a song, and it's made by a friend of mine, a friend of everybody's at the library. They're called the Central City Music Company. Yes, yes. And they're very kindly letting us use this song. Okay, you ready to go for a walk? Because we like to walk wherever we go. Yes.
I walk everywhere I go, I walk everywhere I go. Unless the bus is going my way, I'll be heel to towing down the highway. I walk everywhere I go, I walk everywhere I go. Unless my roommate's gonna take me, I'll be heel to towing down on Main Street. Tried to ride a board, I fell on my face. My bike is in the shop and parts all need replaced. I can't afford insurance and I can't believe how cars and trucks pollute the air I'm trying to breathe. I walk everywhere I go. If I'm grocery shopping or what have you, I'll be heel to towing down the avenue.
All right, everybody, that's it for this week's Wonder Time. I just wanted, before we go, I wanted to remind you that summer reading is going on, and you can sign up for younger kids up to 4. Just by signing up, you get a book, and when you complete the program, you get another book. And for the older kids, 5 to 12, if you sign up, you can win prizes by doing missions, and plus you'll get a book at the end of the program. And I'll put the information right here for so you can go to our website to sign up for summer reading. Also, if you're just by watching these Wonder Times and entering in the Wonder Times secret code, which I will put right down here, the secret code will get you a special Chester badge that you only the people who put in the secret codes get. And this week's secret code is walk. Walk, just like what we did when we went out with the dogs and we walked around the neighborhood, and we talked about a story walk where we talked about looking at a book, looking at the pictures, looking at the cover, talking about the author, the fact that we can talk about it, what we think that could be happening without even reading it, and thinking about how that relates to your life, and maybe thinking about new words. And when you're talking with kids, doing some gentle correction about, just so they know what the correct, what the correct way to say things are. And the correct way to say things is, technically. And so the secret code again is walk. That was another thing I was thinking about, is that you can go out for a walk. A walk instead of a story time walk, a picture book walk, you can go out for a walk. And as you're walking around, you can talk about the things you see, talk about the places you've been. If you're going out, like when we went out with the dog, we can talk about maybe other things that we've seen. You can talk about different new words, like we can talk about streets, but we can talk about ways. We can talk about courts. We can talk about avenues, those sorts of things. We can look at the different names of the streets and see what sort of new, interesting names that the streets could have. You could talk about, like, how do you think the street got that name? Those sorts of things. Just talking about what's going on. Again, the goal here is to get 10,000 words in your vocabulary by the time you hit kindergarten. So anything you can do, talking. Again, it doesn't matter the language, we're just talking. It's about gaining words. So anyway, thank you again for joining us this week, and we will see you next week. Bye. There's a lazy dog. Bye, lazy dog.